Bitcoin has had a bit of a push to the upside, one of reasonable significance, taking many of the altcoins with it. In this video, we're going to be jumping down into the technical analysis on BTC, taking a look at what's gone on and what I think is likely to occur next. As I get into the video, if you find it useful and informative, smash the like button. I do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗀. If you haven't yet joined us in Discord, check it out, guys, linked in the description below. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free, and I don't think you'd be disappointed by what you find down there, so why not go ahead and check it out. And if you are looking for a little bit more from the crypto space, or why not check out the Patreon services as well, link in the description below. Let's jump right down into this video for Bitcoin. So here we have Bitcoin paired up with USDT. We're using the 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗘 spot exchange, and it's on the 1 hour chart. This chart actually shows us the smart money concepts, so it allows us to understand, the moves that have been occurring here, okay, and we can kind of see some interesting structural changes as well. So let's go ahead and just jump into this. Okay, so yesterday we were talking about this change of characterization, taking us from a bullish state into a bearish state, confirming it with a break of structure, and then confirming it again with a break of structure. Well, in the last couple of hours, we've gone ahead and changed ourselves back into a bullish structure. Okay, now if I zoom out of this, if you remember, if I zoom out far enough here, over here, in fact, you can see we had a bullish structure, a bearish structure, a bullish structure, a bearish structure, and now we're back in a bullish structure, right? The market very much can't decide. So we'll see if this one sticks for longer than a couple of days, but for now it is in a bullish structure. This basically essentially has changed a couple of things. One, we have a weak high, strong low, as in that low's not likely to get broken right now. We are above equilibrium, and we do also see the short-term 50 EMA looking to cross above the longer-term 200 EMA. Again, that would be seen as a slight positive. There are some concerns that we have here. However, okay, one, we knew that we were looking for a move upwards in the market, and this seems to be that move right now. There's going to be another one in the future, but this one seems to be at that point where it's probably going to be thinking about kind of coming out of the space. Now, we can see that the structure inside here, I thought we were going to get a zigzag pattern, but that's not what's occurred. We also do not have ourselves an impulsive structure either. So for the most part, it looks like we've kind of got ourselves an interesting situation that will certainly define what Bitcoin's going to do next, but we need a few more candles. I think essentially what we're looking for here is potentially probably another 24 hours should do it, and we should get confirmation by the end of the weekend or by tomorrow as to where this is heading. But for now, to me, it looks like a potential W, X, Y, X, and Z with reversal here, but it can also be a double zigzag pattern with this being our A, that being our B, and we've still got a little bit more to go. This is why I want a little bit more data to kind of give that a bit of time to confirm. Now, as you can kind of see, we have fair value gaps, and these gaps are created from imbalances in the order books. Let's jump on over into BitGet. We'll go to the trade area, we'll go to spot, we'll go to Bitcoin spot. Pretty straightforward to navigate. Let's go into this. We'll wait for the trading view to load. You can see here that we had this fair value gap that got filled, right? But in doing so, we've left behind a few additional ones. Let's go ahead into here and draw them in, right? It's actually quite difficult to kind of get that. There we go. Let's go ahead and grab the rectangles. So we can see there's a small slither right here. It is tiny and not really that much of significance. Let's go ahead and just pull that across there. We've then got another one right here, slightly better and more significant. And then we've got this one up here, most recently within the last couple of hours, and right inside there. Okay, so we end up with these kind of four fair value gaps that are left behind, right? And these fair value gaps, as I said before, they get created when we have imbalances in the order books, right? So you see all the sellers up the top here, and you see all the buyers down here. In this particular case, there's a lot of buying pressure, right? So a lot of buying, maybe potentially spot orders or market orders here, and basically so many buy orders that there's not enough sell to fill the void. So there's illiquid within these gaps, and so price jumps from the low side to the high side, leaving the gap behind, and as such, basically something that's called a fair value gap. Now price likes to come back down to where the fair value gap is and likes to fill it out. This bottom one here hasn't yet actually been filled. These haven't been filled either. So there's a high probability, as you could have seen previously, right? This one was left over here, it got filled. This one was left over here, it got filled, right? And eventually these ones here are likely to get filled out as well. Okay, so it's just created from imbalances where there's illiquid movements in price, as in there's not enough buyers or sellers within a certain range, and it creates these gaps in the market. Very similar to a CME gap, when a CME gap is a difference between a closed position and an open position on a daily level. Here you can see gaps within the candles, and we usually kind of associate this with smart money. It's an indication that maybe big funds are pushing the market in one particular direction, which brings me to the next issue that I have with the charts, which essentially is that we have a pattern here that could potentially be the market maker pattern. Push up, go sideways, push up, go sideways, push up, go sideways, and then it mimics itself on the way down. Okay, and it looks like this. So we have to kind of consider a couple of things there. One, that the fair value gaps are created, but the pattern in which these are created are also giving me some room for concern. Now, this is a point where I'd just like to talk about BitGet. BitGet have actually got a really fantastic competition running at the moment for UK residents, or if you're from a different jurisdiction and don't mind traveling to the UK, there is a fantastic promotion running at the moment, which is basically to score some UFC tickets this Father's Day. So the competition period, 14th of June to the 20th of June, as there's a few days left on this one, but not much. Basically, new signups will get a 10 USDT trading bonus and eligible for a 10,000 USDT prize pool. You got promotion number 2, which is to make a first-time deposit of any amount to get 10% cash back up to $100 USDT, and for your chance to win a share of $10,000 USDT prize pool. Then there is the promotion 3, which is to achieve a futures trading volume of more than 100,000 USDT for a chance to participate in the lucky draw and win 2 UFC Fight Night London tickets worth $2,000 each. Now, the trading volume in itself is actually quite easy to achieve when you're using leverage, so it's not actually that scary. So just bear in mind that, yeah, if you're going to be using leverage, there are risks associated with it and all that wonderful stuff. But this is a fantastic promotion. It's more sweeter, actually, because if you do manage to score those UFC tickets, Chris, myself, and JB will actually be at the event, and we can have a beer together, which would be fantastic if you do happen to win. So why not check it out? BitGet link is in the description down below, the affiliate link that is. Using that link will allow you to participate in this particular offer. But above and beyond that, you also get the standard deposit bonuses and rewards up to $8,000 by using that affiliate link, and also the weekly competitions that we hold down in our Discord server. Lots of reasons to be using BitGet, so why not check it out? Link in the description down below. Okay, guys, let's jump right back into this, right? So we can see that the fair value gaps have been left behind. I have concerns over the pattern that's emerging here, and potentially a break to the downside is kind of something that's going to have to happen at some point soon, even though we have this bullish structure that's emerged here. Let's move over into our Elliott wave theory side of things. Okay, now we were thinking that this was going to be a 5-wave move up, a correction down, and another 5-wave move up, and for the most part, if that is the case, then we are in a zigzag pattern here, and it's possible that that's an overextension within its 5th wave movement, but it just doesn't fit. And the concern that I have here is more that we've actually exceeded above the, we've kind of exceeded above 1.236, and we kind of landed on the 1.382, which makes me believe this is potentially more aligned to the idea of a W, X, Y, X, and Z. And so concerns in there a little bit. It kind of mimics the idea of a 5-wave structure without actually hitting the 5-wave structure. And so that's kind of where I think that's potentially going to go. Now, it did actually exceed a little bit higher than expected, because I was not expecting it to breach this line at 26,433. But, you know, it is what it is. As you can kind of see, we finished our low down here. That's nothing terribly too unusual about that. So it can, of course, rally up quite a bit. The next high that be interesting to see if it can hold, would be 27,455 and all that kind of wonderful stuff that's associated there. So for the most part, very interesting structures here to the upside, but I'm looking at mirroring this on the way down because it's kind of giving me the idea that we are probably in that market maker pattern, WXYXZ and potentially a WXYXZ on the way down as well, where we have these kind of pockets of consolidation. It's not too dissimilar to what you saw on the daily time frame either. If we actually hop on over into the daily time frame here, you can see that we have our higher trend line here, and look where we bounced right on the 200 EMA in the trend line and right back up into the resistances up here in the supply range, and that also coincides right with the 50 EMA as well. This is actually quite a fragile place for the daily chart. You can see the daily stochastic RSI rapidly moving from the low side to the upper side, to the high side here. This is a bearish thing. This is not looking strong to me on the daily time frame. If we lose the 200 EMA and potentially this trend line, then yeah, I think we're going to be looking at slipping Bitcoin down much deeper. Now, if I go ahead and come back to our smart money and throw our smart money into the daily, bring this up here, you can see the fair value gaps that were left behind as well. And again, you can see that idea of that market maker pattern, right? Which is up, consolidate, up, consolidate, up, consolidate, and are we going to get those ups and then consolidate and ups and consolidate? Now this one was looking neat, it's kind of slipped off a little bit, but you can see the idea that we actually are in a bit of a bullish setup, or at least potentially anyway, with not necessarily a bull flag, but people might say that it is, but it's basically lower highs and lower lows. That does have a tendency to want to break up, but considering the momentum indicator here, it isn't showing us that much strength, so we're probably not in the right time for that one to kind of look to get completed. We took out the first fair value gap. The first fair value gap was up here. You go ahead and pull that across. That was being grabbed now, you can see, okay, and then we've still got these ones down here still to gather, right? And it is actually a weekly fair value gap all the way down here at $17,000, right? So there's a probability that we are going to be looking at cheaper Bitcoin, much cheaper than the 30k that it was, and much cheaper than the 26k that it is right now. Essentially, equilibrium is lower than 200 EMA. If we lose this, we are likely to have that slippage to the downside. If I take this back to the weekly, you can see here that we're finding brief support on the 50 EMA on that weekly time frame, and that's potentially also something to keep a close eye on as well. But for the most part, my expectations are that we're going to see a bit of a move to the downside later today, probably into tomorrow, but as Sundays usually go, the bulls do like to try to get a good strong weekly close, so we'll kind of see how that one plays out tomorrow. But for next week, it's not looking strong at the moment, but things can change very, very rapidly in the crypto space. So I'll keep you another daily update tomorrow morning. I'm going to leave the video right there. If you found it useful and informative, smash the like button. If you're new, subscribe. If you're looking for a new exchange that has optional KYC, why not check out BitGet, affiliate link in the description below, and take advantage of all of those offers, including the UFC tickets, potentially up for grabs, the deposit bonuses, and the trading competitions that we run down in our Discord server. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor. I cannot give you financial advice. All I can do is give you my thoughts and opinions on the data as I see it. Until the next one though, guys, have a fantastic day.
We are not financial advisors. None of what we have communicated verbally or in writing here should be considered as financial advice. It is not. Do your own research before investing in any digital asset or affiliate offers, and understand that investing in any crypto is risky. If you do, you need to be prepared to lose your entire investment. This video is for information and entertainment purposes only. All our videos are strictly personal opinions. Please make sure you do your own research and never take our opinions for financial guidance. There are multiple strategies, and not all strategies fit all people. Our videos are not financial advice.